AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll talk to Mike Triplett coming up next hour. What to watch this weekend from me, Paulie Muse, in about 30 minutes from right now. Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, the SEC Network crew will be there. Tommy Hart, be Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kublik. Tom's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Great to chat, man. Thank you as always for the time. How are you?
What up, Home Slice? I'm fantastic.
I would like to congratulate you on quite literally the best tweet after Auburn claimed their 9 titles. Simply, I'm now 6'5". It's so good. It's so good. Do you ever get flack from the league for stuff like that?
No, I don't, but others have. There is a basketball analyst. I'll keep his name out of this story. He has worked other leagues in the past, but he once had a tweet that I think probably got him kicked off SEC games. There was a French soccer coach who got arrested by Swiss authorities for going over the mountains with like $500,000 in a suitcase in his trunk. And this guy retweeted the story and said, "Sounds like a great SEC coach." And the folks in Birmingham were not too happy. So I think they pay attention. You know, you got to be careful. Make sure that if you're poking fun, everybody else has to be poking fun at the same time. But what are we doing? We're just making up our own championships? Like, come on now.
Tom, you're going to be in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. They claim 1958. Like that's the Billy Cannon championship. You're going to see a flag in Tiger Stadium, and Auburn says they won it now. It's so weird.
How mad is Bud Wilkinson about that?
Right?
Like, what do we? Yeah, there was enough. There were other teams. Yeah. There were other champions. I don't know. I guess that's the beauty of college football, right? I mean, this is what makes it fun. There are no rules. Everything's random. Everything's fun. 19 to 20. I guess 27-year-old kids these days, like, you don't know what you're going to get.
What about Diego Pavia, man?
Oh, my Lord, Diego Pavia. What are we doing?
He's trying to get $4 million, man. Can you be mad at him, really? Like, if there's a way to get back for one more year and get a $4 million payday, I can't be mad at the guy for that.
I don't want this to come up the wrong way, but for everything that Vanderbilt University has prided itself on, is there not a more outrageous pipeline in the world than New Mexico State to Vanderbilt?
Yes. Well, where was he before New Mexico? Wasn't it some like minors?
He was a junior college.
It was like something minors community. I mean, this is an impressive comeuppance here for Diego Pavia. Hey, you're gonna look. One of the cool things you get to do, obviously, is you get to go into every venue in the league. And I'm certain there are things that you look forward to when you go to all of the 16 teams. When you get to come to Baton Rouge, is there something in particular that you really look forward to that's part of the uniqueness of a game day in Baton Rouge?
There's a lot. There really is. And I usually come in on Thursday afternoon and spend some time at practice, and I like seeing teams go through the rigors. You know, you get a better feel for who's who and how they interact and all that stuff. I can't make it there today for various reasons, but yeah, I like neck. Like, I like it when they play neck. I love seeing people cringe. I love the passion that surrounds neck. Like, that's probably, and honestly, I actually brought that up in our production call this week. I said, I want to hear the history of neck. I want somebody to explain that. I don't know what the line is on this game. I can imagine what it's going to be.
I don't think it's posted yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it hits, I'm kind of over the 66-year-old tuba player. I think it's a great story, but if we're going to talk band, talk to me about neck. That's what I want to hear.
Let's go. I'll get you a shirt. Let the band play neck. I'll get you a shirt.
Please.
Please. Tom
It'll match my tattoo.
You're kind of you're toeing the line of maybe making some of the suits in Birmingham cringe with some of this, Tommy. We just got to be careful.
I know. They'd probably be a little bit uncomfortable with that. But let's be honest. Like, we're all about entertainment.
Yes.
And gosh, man, I would love to call Georgia, Alabama, and all of the, like LSU, Bama, and all that stuff. Our schedule's our schedule. And we try to make it, and I think our group does a great job, as entertaining as possible, because what Jordan and Cole are, what they excel at is I feel like we can pivot from talking about neck to breaking down the double A gap blitz. And, where's the robber coming from, and what does that mean? And those guys just live and breathe this stuff, and it's fun for me to work with them. And I learn more about the game of football every time I'm on the air with them, and hopefully our viewers can pick up a little bit too.
I don't think there's a single crew, and I watch a lot of football, that has more fun than the three of you, and that makes it fun for the audience. Is that something – I know the answer, to that, but I'll ask it so you can elaborate. Like, is that something you all work on, or is that something that happens organically?
No, I think it's organic because got to be careful how I phrase this. Contrary to some other crews out there, and smart viewers can see it, we want to be there. Like, I was in broadcasting for a number of years before I got to do SEC football. This was the holy grail. Like, this was my goal, and it didn't matter if it was Southeastern and LSU. Like, no, I get to do a game at night at Tiger Stadium. Are you kidding me? Like, yes, sign me up for that. Cole was the same way. Jordan played in the league. Like, we all want to be there. And I think, think about it, when you go to a holiday party with your friends versus a holiday party at the company where the boss is, and there's two very different vibes, right? There's being required to be there and wanting to be there. And we want to be there. And I think that's where that fun comes from, because we have this natural curiosity when it comes to the teams and the players and the programs, and dang neck, like we're curious about stuff. And so then when we get answers, we want to share the stuff that we've learned. And hopefully it's interesting to people. I mean, we had a great chat this afternoon. I got to be honest with you, with Frank Selfo. And it started with the culture of the program. And they've got 18 seniors that have been around there. They got 6 guys that are 6-year guys. That just doesn't happen in this day and age. Their entire offensive line has been there for 4 years. Like, what he's built there and how they've treated their players, I think, needs to be commended in this era where people can just up and leave at any minute. But while we're talking about culture, then that turns into a conversation about the candy jar on his desk, and he and I get in a borderline fist fight over what's better, Snickers or a Twix. Well, like, he is team Snickers, and I love Twix.
It's Twix. It's obviously Twix.
I'm with you, but then I got demoralized because, heck, I ain't got that much chocolate. There's no nuts. There's cardboard in the middle, and where the hell's the caramel? Like, I love talking with Frank Selfo about his favorite candy just as much as I love talking to him about ball, and that's what I love about what I get to do every day.
Whenever I play golf at the turn, I always get a Snickers because that feels like it gives me a jolt through the back nine. But if I'm just going to the gas station and I'm going to go down the candy aisle and my two choices are Snickers, or if I go in the vending machine in the basement of this building, it's Twix. If it's it's Twix. It's like if it's Halloween. If it's Halloween and you're going to the candy bowl and there's a little fun size and you're either getting a Twix or a Snickers, 100 times out of 100 you're taking a Twix first.
You're a great American.
Unless if the candy bowl is at the turn and I'm going to the back nine, and then I'm probably going to grab the Snickers. That's the only exception.
I will change your life with one suggestion if you'll take me up on it next time you're headed to golf. Okay. You got to do this beforehand because it's not usually available. But substitute a payday for that Snickers, change your life. I'm just saying.
I'm a big fan of the payday. Look, and you're talking to a former fat kid, so I am very familiar with the candy aisle. I love a payday because I love the saltiness of the peanut in the payday. With the contrast. Now, the texture is a little tough to get around, but that contrast of the sweet and salty together is very underrated. I do agree with you there. We talked to Frank Selfo about an hour ago, and he was pretty adamant, and he's great. I'm sure you enjoyed your convo with him. He's fantastic. He's pretty adamant. Like, he does not ever want to see Power 4 against FCS games, like, ever again. He understands why they do them, but he doesn't want them. Where do you fall on that, Tom?
He is a man of following my own heart. I think, we'll get a change with the 9-game schedule in conference, and I think it won't totally solve this problem, but we'll get a little bit closer. We opened the season with Monroe at Bama.
Oh, God.
And we highlighted the simple revenue difference between the two programs, and it's night and day. And I wonder why the hell we're playing these games. What do you get out of it? How do you charge the same for parking for this game as you're going to charge for the Bama game or the Texas game or whatever over the years? How's it fair to the fan base? And listen, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't play games where there is an obvious talent disadvantage. That is going to happen during the course of the schedule when it's however you want to phrase it, D1 versus D1. But they're not living on the same planet in terms of financial support and therefore talent level. And I just, as excited as I am to be in that stadium Saturday night, I have a hard time seeing why it's necessary for this game to occur when you could substitute somebody better. And by the way, in their defense, I mean, what they did against Mississippi Valley State last week is the same thing. I mean, that team on at Strawberry Stadium was totally overmatched. And, guys get some run, and everybody gets out there and gets to get some minutes, and your parents feel good reading the box score the next day, I suppose. I just don't know. In a season that is so short and the sample size is so small, it feels like a throwaway to waste one of your 12 regular season games on such a large mismatch.
Amen. I was going to ask you about Nuss's torso injury, but we'll probably just send you out with neck and be respectful of your time and let you get to what you got to do. This is Tom Hart, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There's neck for you.
You better cut me off before I start my lyrics. You better mute my mic because I know the words.
That in fact will have the folks in Birmingham giving you a call, Tom.
They got my number.
Thank you,
brother.
Thank you for the time. That is Tom. Have a great call. We appreciate it. That is Tom Hart. Tom, Jordan, Cole will be on the call Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. They're the best. Like, they are the most fun crew to listen to. I don't even think it's close. He is going to be respectful and not name names. I do name names. A lot of these, I'm very collegial with a lot of these folks, but there's a lot of people that aren't good and they're a tough listen. Those guys, it doesn't matter if you're and it's in every sport. Tom calls when he's on SEC baseball. He is the best on SEC baseball. I'm looking forward to watching and listening to those guys on Saturday night. We appreciate Tom. Okay, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Call Dr. Blake Williamson. Set up that consultation. LASIK, PRK, Evo ICL, that's the implantable contact lens. It's a reversible procedure where they implant a contact lens in your eye. The custom lens replacement. There's so many options. It doesn't matter your age or your refractive issue. If you want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can make that happen. So call 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020 to set up that consultation today. 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Muse, Paulie, and I in 15 minutes will get to what to watch. 3 things each of us are watching this football weekend. I will knock out a quick break and continue. Lee Sterling in half an hour with his best bets for the weekend. He was 4-1 last week. It's AFR.
AFR.
Y'all get on by Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every single day to buy local and shop local. That's because Clegg's has been serving greater Baton Rouge for 60 years, y'all. 60 years. You kidding me? Bypass the big box store. Why would you go to the big box store when you have a great local retailer like Clegg's that's been invested in our community for 6 decades? They got a great selection, man. The pumpkins are out. All the fall decor displays are out. The hay bales, the wheat stalks, the squash gourds, scarecrows. They got everything there if you want to decorate your front porch, your back patio, your office space, any of it. It's there for you at Clegg's Nursery. And, of course, great selection of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. The most knowledgeable staff, y'all. So get on by and see our friends today. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
.1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing high school student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
This is kind of a bummer. Of course, the Saints in the city of New Orleans just crushed it this past February when they hosted the Super Bowl. And the anticipation or the expectation was that New Orleans would next bid to host the Super Bowl in 2031. Well, Jeff Duncan was part of a report today with a couple of other staff writers, Anthony McCauley and Tyler Bridges, over at NOLA.com. The city of New Orleans missed the deadline to bid to host that Super Bowl. That's a real bummer, man. And it's because the city hasn't been able to agree yet on a lease extension, or the team hasn't agreed on a lease extension with the team to stay there in the Dome beyond 2030, which is the current deal that they have. So, of course, you have to be an NFL city to be able to host a Super Bowl, and it's one of the reasons primarily why the NFL was so adamant about getting back into Los Angeles, not only because it's the number 2 media market in the country, but Super Bowl is a big part of that. And as soon as the league got back into LA with the Rams and the Chargers, they waived the waiting period for a team to host and immediately brought the Super Bowl to Los Angeles and SoFi Stadium. And they had an awesome halftime show as well. I mean, Fitty was upside. Remember that? Fitty was upside down. Snoop was smoking a J backstage before he went on. Eminem was out there. Dr. Dre.
I was say Dr. Dre, yeah.
So good.
That was a good one.
Who was Riri was out there? Wasn't Rihanna out there too with him? No?
No, she did her own Super Bowl halftime show.
When she was pregnant.
When she was pregnant, I think the next year, actually.
So,
I think it was the very next Super Bowl.
Yeah, shout out Riri. Anyway. What?
I was going to say, was it Alicia Keys, but she was with Usher.
That might have been all of them. Or you know what you could do?
We'll Google it.
You know what you could do, Muse? I heard of this thing. It's almost like magic. You get on a keyboard and you type in a question, and this thing will give you the answer to anything in the world you want to know. It's called Google. Crazy. It's spelled Google. I'll give it to you again slowly. Google. Google is how they say it. You just type in there, who was part of that halftime show in L.A., and it'll tell you instantly. Your mic's not on.
That was 2022, right?
Or why don't you just type in Los Angeles halftime show?
Oh, I got it. Here it is. Yeah. Mary J. Blige is who it was with them. Yes.
Mary J. Mary's back.
Yes.
There we go. Should ask Paulie. He would have known.
Paul would have known. Paul would have known off the top of his head.
Paul, did you know that?
No, I forgot. Mary J. Blige was there.
Mm.
To all the low riding bass booming S10s in Central, they're disappointed in you right now, Paul. Do better.
Sorry, I let you down.
Do better. Although I do love the big fleur-de-lis on your back glass, not going to lie. NGL. People think we're joking about that. That's an actual thing.
That happens.
Paulie has a great truck with a big fleur-de-lis on the back glass, and he booms. He booms. What's on? If we get in your truck right now, Paulie, and turn on the music, what are we hearing?
Connor Price.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Who is that, Paulie?
He's a rapper.
No kidding. See?
What's his name? Connor Price?
Connor Price.
He sounds like a country singer.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like like he's got a lot of edge there.
I would think so, yeah.
Pull up some Connor Price
All right.
news. Let's hear Connor Price.
Paul, do I need to find edited versions of this?
No, he doesn't curse.
Oh!
He doesn't have edge.
Oh, he has no edge. His name is Connor Price. But wait, respect to Connor Price. You do you. Back to the point at hand, which is that New Orleans has apparently missed this deadline to bid on the Super Bowl for 2031. And that is a bummer. And the one thing that we always have to be mindful of is if you excuse me, if a team, a franchise, a city builds a new stadium, they are automatically in the queue for a Super Bowl no matter where they are. Like, as absurd as it is to have a Super Bowl in Detroit or Minnesota or other cold weather environments, like when those cities built new stadiums, they got a Super Bowl. Indianapolis, although some people will laud Indianapolis because it's a walkable downtown, more comparable to New Orleans. New York City hosted a Super Bowl at MetLife. I think we all agree like it should just rotate. Miami, New Orleans, L.A., Vegas, like just rotate those and it'd be good to go. But in any event, the Saints and state officials not getting this deal done means that the team is not extended its Superdome lease beyond 2030. Means the Saints could not negotiate a bid. They could not submit a bid for that 2031 Super Bowl. So you'll put it off another year apparently, unless if something else happens. Now, Jeff Duncan did tweet a bit ago that. To be clear, it's not on the city of New Orleans officials. The deadline was missed because the state and the Saints haven't finalized a new long-term lease. The NFL can't play Super Bowl in a city if they don't know if it'll have an NFL team. And as he notes, the Saints' current lease expires in 2030. So that's the whole point that we're getting at here. So we're all anticipating that the extended lease will happen with the team and the state investing $500 million into renovations of that building. Clearly, this is going to happen. The team is going to stay in New Orleans, and ownership currently with Mrs. Benson, that's her ambition, is to make sure the Saints and the Pelicans stay in New Orleans in perpetuity. But this is disappointing. There's no other way around it. So they'll put it off at least another year till they can bid on a Super Bowl to come back to New Orleans. And then the other thing to keep in mind too, which I don't know in front of me, but is the future calendar. Remember, the Super Bowl sometimes overlaps with the Mardi Gras calendar, and you just can't have Super Bowl coinciding with Mardi Gras. So it would have to be a time where that would make sense based on the calendar. So we'll see what the next year that might make the most sense for New Orleans to host would be, and when they submit that bid, but it won't be in 2031. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Paris Construction and Roofing. By the way, I was told yesterday as I was walking out of studio by one Paul O'Neill that Parish Construction and Roofing was at the O'Neill household yesterday replacing. Let's give Paulie a round of applause there. How about it? You can give yourself a round of applause, too. Paulie, how did we do?
You did good.
Thank you.
Got a new roof.
Is it beautiful?
It is gorgeous.
Was our crew respectful and friendly?
Well, the short time I was there, yes.
Did we clean up after ourselves?
You did.
We did. Glad to hear that.
You didn't, but your crew did.
Were you satisfied with Spencer, who was the rep who worked with you? Were you satisfied with Spencer?
Very satisfied.
Spencer's yes. Great. We didn't leave any nails in the driveway or anything?
Not that I have found.
Love that. What about shingles in the garden or anything like that?
Nope.
Did the roof work?
I believe so, yeah.
No sunlight coming through?
Nope, no sunlight.
No raindrops coming through?
No raindrops.
No birds flying in?
No birds.
Love that.
Hadn't seen any birds.
It's that simple. Do you like Paul O'Neill did? Call Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. ParrishBuilt.com is the website. You can call us 364-1007, 364-1007, 364-1007. Look, I'm proud to be a partner in Parrish Construction and Roofing. And I know my role. I will never be on your roof, Paulie, I promise. You do not want me up there. My job is to make you aware that we exist, make the phones ring, but we've hired great people throughout our entire organization to make sure that, look, most of us might replace a roof. Was that the first time you've ever gone through a roof replacement, Paulie?
Me, yes.
Yeah. I mean, for most of us, once, maybe twice in our life, will we go through a roof replacement? So it's just not something we do commonly, so the process is unfamiliar. We take a lot of pride in educating to make sure that you're aware of the process throughout and you're comfortable with the whole thing. And another thing we talk about too, man, is you got to know your insurance policy. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'll wait till a storm comes. A lot of times your named storm deductible is higher than your wind hail deductible. Let us work with you on that. It's Parrish Construction and Roofing, ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Residential and commercial, do any type of commercial job. We just recently finished a few commercial jobs with Our Lady of the Lake. They're on their campus. So we'd love to help you out as well. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parrish Construction and Roofing. All right, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. We'll get to what to watch here after the break. Lee Sterling in 15 minutes from right now. We'll get Lee's best bets for the upcoming weekend. Mike Triplett will be here in hour 3. Still waiting on the Saints injury report to be released. We do know the attendance. Chase Young, Dylan Radins, Talia Sefuaga did not practice for the New Orleans Saints today. Definitely calls into question whether or not they'll be available for Sunday, but wait for the official injury report to see what may come of that. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll continue next.
After Further Review.
I was over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness earlier today. If you're watching, I got a Band-Aid here on my arm. It's because I had my blood lab. So about every 4 to 6 months, if you're on hormone replacement therapy, which I am, you want to do your blood labs to make sure that everything, your testosterone levels are good, your estrogen levels are good, that everything is trending and tracking as it should. And by the way, for whatever this may matter for some of you and may not, if you are on HRT, when you go every 4 to 6 months to get your blood drawn, most clinics charge you for that. At Goodwood, they don't. They pick up the expense of running your blood labs. That savings alone is a reason to switch from whatever clinic you may be with right now and go to Goodwood. They can have your medicine shipped to your door, lowest prices, never any contracts, and they're super friendly. It's Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
If you're trying to gear up for game day, call Decision Critical. Their concierge nursing service will come to you for that game day prep IV. You want IV hydration. Maybe you're feeling under the weather. Stay hydrated at a cellular level. They can come to you, your home, your office at any time. Give them a couple hours. They'll be there. So, look, it's Thursday. Get that IV on Friday. You want a pre-game. But you know you can have a long day on Saturday, bad food, some adult beverages, a late night, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you pre-hydrate. Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, their IV service is available for you. Just go to DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule today. Okay, every week, Muse, Paulie, and I, before the football weekend kicks off, we tell you 3 things we're keeping an eye on. We call it What to Watch. Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All right, we'll get it started with Matthew Durante Musso.
That's not it. But I will go ahead and get it started. What the heck happened there? Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I'm not the one with my fingers on the switchboard and the sliders over there.
Anyway, we'll start with
sitting
big
over
noon.
here, literally 15 feet from it.
We're going to start with big noon kickoff. Texas Tech, Utah. Here we go. Ranked matchup in Rice-Eccles.
Okay.
Mainly, Texas Tech. What you got? You for real? You went and spent a bunch of money in the portal. You have played nobody with a pulse.
Nobody.
2-7 is the combined record of their opponents.
Nobody.
And they've beaten the hell out of all of them.
All of them.
Now you go into Rice-Eccles. Are you real? We'll see. Interesting, the line, 3.5. I would expect Utah at home be favored by a little bit more. maybe that's a little bit of a stinky line. We'll see.
Okay. Paulie.
I'm going to watch Tulane and Ole Miss.
Me too.
Tulane is looking for a statement win for their case as a playoff contender. The Ole Miss defense has not looked great to start the season, so expect some points to be scored in this one. Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons did not start last week against Arkansas. Will he play this week? And, of course, LSU will head to Oxford next week.
Mincy texted me. He's all high on Chambliss starting this week.
Okay.
I'm like, you played Arkansas, man. Like, whatever. Don't be. That line keeps going up to me. It's at 13. It was 11.5. It's 13.5. Don't on Tulane, bro. I think Tulane's a live dog on the road. Tonight, Miami Buffalo Thursday night football. I only bring this up because Buffalo's a double-digit favorite, which is rare in the NFL. It's 10.5 right now. If this goes really badly on a Thursday night, could this be the end for Mike McDaniel? He is the betting favorite to be the first coach fired. It has been Miami is 0-2. They're awful. This could be a point in the season with a long week after Thursday night to do it. So if this goes very badly tonight for Miami in Buffalo, it could be the last game Mike McDaniel coaches in Miami.
I'm going to go back to college football. Michigan and Nebraska. In the same way I'm looking at Texas Tech, I'm looking at Nebraska. So, Scone, when you were out, it was during Big Ten Media Days. I had Adam Rittenberg on to cover the event and let us know. He said one of the big topics was people were high on Nebraska. Their schedule was favorable. They get this at home. This is their biggest test yet. Let's see if they can get it done behind Dylan Raiola and Matt Rule. Year 3 of Matt Rule, normally pretty successful.
Right, Bryce Underwood on the road.
Bryce Underwood on the road again.
Yeah.
In a tough place, man.
Yeah. Paulie.
I'm going to watch Bengals and Vikings.
No, you're not.
So this one will be a battle of the backup quarterbacks.
You ain't watching
Jake Browning, Carson Wentz.
Stop lying.
So I'm really going to be watching for Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson.
Okay, that's fair. That's maybe a better reason to watch it.
But so the Vikings are actually going to be without Aaron Jones in the backfield as well. He landed on IR this week. The Bengals are looking to go 3-0 and keep their lead in the AFC North.
Yeah, they are. It's my Super Bowl pick. I need Jake Browning to keep this thing on the go. You can say, yeah, hit it. Chicago against Dallas.
Oh,
hold on. Chicago, despite being 0-2, is a 1-point favorite in this game. Ben Johnson could become the next of the first-year head coaches to get his first win. There are presently 3 that have not gotten a win. It's Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, the 2 coaches that the Saints wanted, and then the guy the Saints got, Ellen Moore. Could Ben Johnson get his first win? He's favored against the Cowboys.
Texans, Jags, divisional round. The 2 teams that you look at go, man, they could, be the leader. Texans have fallen on hard times. 0-2 start. Not many saw that coming. Jacksonville, they're a slight favorite. Also, Texans, short week, having to travel. Keep an eye on that one.
Keep an eye on it.
I want to dig an 0-3 hole, man.
Let's go.
The Cardinals versus the Niners. So the NFC West is the only team with 3 teams, the only division with 3 teams still 2-0. The Cardinals, Niners, and Rams. Have the Cardinals finally turned the corner under Kyler Murray?
Nah.
We'll see.
Maybe. If you told me the entire slate of college football this weekend and you could only watch one game, it's not going to be LSU Southeastern. If I could only watch one, it would be Auburn, Oklahoma. Oklahoma flat stole one on the Plains last year. Remember, Auburn was cruising to a win. They had the late pick 6 at the end of that game, and now Jackson Arnold is the quarterback at Auburn. So that was Peyton Thorne who threw the pick 6 late. Oklahoma steals a win. Now Jackson Arnold going back to Norman. You got a couple of undefeated teams here. Auburn's ranked again. Oklahoma's 11th in the country. This is certainly going to be, I believe, the stiffest test so far. All respect to Michigan, but not really. For Oklahoma, we're going to start to feel if they are real, if John Mateer is real, if Oklahoma is actually a contending team when they get into the meat of their SEC schedule. It's 2:30 ABC, and this is an Oklahoma team that my thought on them before the year was I think they'll be better. I just don't think their win-loss record is going to be reflective because it is such a brutal schedule where they had Michigan, Auburn, Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, Missouri, LSU. It's a brutal slate. This is sort of the start of that in-conference play. So they do get Kent State next, but this is going to be a fascinating one with Auburn and Oklahoma in Norman, 2:30 on ABC, the game of the weekend in college football, even though game day is at Miami and Florida. Like, why?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Maybe,
that's awful.
farewell to Sunbelt Billy? Maybe I do,
guess.
whatever. Have they fired Jabbar Jalouk yet, by the way?
Not,
Yeah.
no.
I don't guess they're going to.
Probably not.
I wish everybody, thank you, you can kill the music. I wish everybody would go retweet, share on social, put pressure on Florida. It's, I can't. There's some clown show high school coach in New Orleans who got up in my mentions and was like, it was insulting me for suggesting. He's like, these are grown men. What are you talking about? Like, yeah. How about this? Why don't you go Friday night? Why don't you go to the opposing sideline and slap a kid on camera and see how that goes? Idiots. Like I get it. There's high school coaches in New Orleans that are defending Jalouk because that's like there's a culture in high school football in New Orleans where it is like a fraternity, and I understand that. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you can't acknowledge that, then you're not serving the people that you're hired to serve, which are the young people. And that's ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd. I'll say it again. I know I yelled about it yesterday, but shame on the SEC, shame on the University of Florida for continuing to employ Jabbar Jalouk. He should have been fired immediately after he slapped Joel Rogers in the face. And the fact that there are some people actually trying to justify that behavior is disgusting. Don't get me started again. All right, it's After Further Review. Lee Sterling's going to join us next. He'll give us his best bets for this weekend in college and the NFL at AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. As a matter of fact, went and had lunch today at Court to Table. Gordon, one of the investors in Court to Table, had their smash burger. It was fantastic. Try to get something new on the menu every time I go. So you need a great place to go for game day on or around game day. Court to Table is a great spot to take the kids. And if you need an attorney, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon's got offices in every corner of the state. So it doesn't matter where you are listening or watching. They have attorneys in every corner of the state, part of Gordon's team, that can help represent you and get you what you are entitled to get you back to normalcy in your life. So go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or call the 888-8888, 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Remember, we're counting down the days, only about 3 more days to enter for the Billboard Design Competition. Get more info at the website. Get Gordon and get it done.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
4-1 last week. Let's keep it going. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. I wanted to pose this to you because I think you've got a pretty good eye for what's going on. Who would you say right now are the most deserving top 3 quarterbacks if you were voting for the Heisman?
On the season, John Mateer would certainly be at or near the top of my list.
He's number 1 for me.
I'd probably say Tommy Castellanos as well from Florida State, and I'd probably throw Carson Beck from Miami in there if I'm just looking at the quarterbacks.
Right. How about Marcel Reed?
Yeah, they just haven't. Yeah, okay. They won this week at Notre Dame, and that was an impressive win. Prior to that, you play somebody with a pulse. I'm not really sure how good Notre Dame is, but yeah, that's fair. I could put Reed in there instead of Castellanos.
Yeah. I think they're interchangeable. So we're thinking along the same way. Isn't it crazy? Beginning of the year, 5 or 6 different names as the top 3 quarterbacks, right?
Yeah. I mean, Lenore Sellers has certainly plummeted. And actually, the first game on the docket that you have, and we're assuming Sellers is going to play, but Mizzou is an 11-point home favorite. How do you factor in the Sellers factor when you're handicapping this one, Lee?
Well, he did practice today, so I just got word that he was a go. But even with him in there, I mean, 14.5 points per game, I'm not impressed. So even if something happens to him, his backup is Duddy. He's probably a third stringer on most teams. He doesn't push the ball down the field at all. I think if you were sitting in a Penn State room and you asked them honestly, all the offensive coaches, would they take Drew or would they take Bo Previlla?
Oh.
I think they go with Bo.
At this point, knowing what you know, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they've got weapons galore, and I think they're better than last year's offense. I like Missouri here, 34-16.
All right, big for Mizzou. I don't disagree. Arkansas, a little bit of a I don't know if you'd call it a breather, but they step out of conference after losing at Ole Miss. They play Memphis, that high-flying Arkansas offense. You rolling with the Hogs, a touchdown favorite?
At first I thought yes, and I'm watching the tape of Memphis. Their defense is really good. At least I don't know what it was that got into them last week. They were playing at a level I hadn't seen in a long time. I mean, Troy's not much offensively, but they knocked their quarterback out by the end of the first quarter and did a number on the backup. They allowed just 112 total yards. The question is, can they play up to that level again? Obviously, we know that the Arkansas quarterback special. Once in a while, he has a couple bad games, throws a couple interceptions, or fumbles the ball. I think Memphis, with this different offense where they run more quarterback runs, I think they can hang in this game. This is a tough game, but I think Arkansas wins at like 31-27. I'm taking the points.
Okay. If I could watch one game the entire weekend, it would be Oklahoma-Auburn. Like if it said you could only watch one, I think there's so much intrigue. It's fascinating to see what we're going to learn about these two teams if they're actually contenders. The line I'm looking at here, let's see, I know you're looking at 6.5 with the Sooners at home.
Yesterday. Yeah, 6.5. And
actually, DraftKings has it right now at 7, Lee. So, I mean, that hook is important there, yeah.
Yeah, if you like the side I like in Oklahoma, you better get on it now. So I think the fact that Arnold has to go back and play against his old head coach is tough. And also you got Brent Venables who's calling the plays. So he has to know inside and out. I've seen coaches. I played quarterback. My head coach in high school and college knew me inside and out. They knew my strengths, my weaknesses. They know the coverages I have trouble with. So I think the advantage is for Brent Venables. He's going to come up with a game plan and make it tough on him. The game is in Norman. If it was in Auburn, I think differently. If you don't think John Mateer is good, pop in a tape of last year's game against Washington. He willed his team with almost no talent around him to a win. Also, how much of a difference is that one kid makes? Well, they played North Texas last week, his old team. They were losing 42-0 at that half. He is that good, running, throwing. I don't know what kind of pro he's going to be, but the kid's a leader. They love him. I like Oklahoma here, 34-24. And another thing I noticed in the Auburn game when they played Baylor, a lot of their big plays were off broken plays. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against Oklahoma.
Lee Sterling's with us, ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. I'll tell you more in just a quick second. I'm fascinated by this one, too, and we're seeing a lot of line movement here, Lee. Tulane's at Ole Miss. This was 11.5. It's up to 13.5 now. Am I crazy for liking Tulane in the points on the road against that Ole Miss defense?
Probably. I mean, the quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, he's good. He's, maybe not as good as a couple quarterbacks they faced in the last couple of years, but the kid's gutsy. I don't think he's any talent to take to the next level, but college quarterbacks, he's up there. I can't play this game, but with a gun to my head, I'll go with Ole Miss. Whoever quarterbacks, Trinidad Chambliss. I'm hearing a story. Did you hear that they found his tape? They were just looking for a backup?
No.
Is that a true story?
I didn't know that.
Usually there's a connection, whether he knows the offensive coordinator, he knows someone on the team. I think they were just looking through tapes, and they found him, and they reached out. We'll find out if that's true. Toughest game on the board, Ole Miss 42-28. They cover by half point.
Okay. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. You got one in the NFL. You want to dice up here? Seahawks, Saints. That line is north of a touchdown now. 7.5, Seattle. Saints still searching for a win. Tough place to try to get it. What do you think?
I'm going to give you a team total here. Under 17.5 points for the Saints. I think the Seahawks defense is special. Weatherspoon's coming back, their top player, cornerback. And I think Saints are just going through the motions. They want that first or second pick. So under 17.5 in some real tough conditions. That's a tough place to play for an offense that's not great. So under 17.5 New Orleans Saints team total.
I love that play. It's gonna be really tough for the Saints, especially with that defensive line from Seattle. Lee, what we got over at ParamountSports.com?
So this is the promotion. I probably get more calls, texts, and emails. Called the Baker's Dozen. We had it once last year. It's 13 games, combined college and pro, just $97. And why do I get so many calls, emails, and texts? It's just $97. It's an instant download. You don't need to call me back Saturday and Sunday, and you're ready to go. And what we do is we've had some 12-1, 11-2, and 10-3 records on this promotion. So if you've never been with me before, you want to try us out, just one place, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com, $97 for the Baker's Dozen. You can get it this weekend. ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. He is Lee Sterling. Thank you, Lee. We'll do it again next week.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
It's our pleasure. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. When you have the purchasing power, when you're buying for 10 stores, you get a great selection and you can offer great price. Hey, look, if Lee Michaels, from Lee Sterling to Lee Michaels, if Lee Michaels, how about that, doesn't have what you want, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. With 4 decades in the business, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
AFR.
All right, y'all, we're putting a button here on hour number 2. We do have Mike Schulbert coming up a little more than half an hour from right now. We are brought to you by Parish Restoration. Always my pleasure to tell you about our friends at Parish Restoration. Listen, the bottom line is when you live in Louisiana, you understand this. We're the mold capital of the world. Why? Because it's wet, it's humid. So it's the breeding ground for mold. If you have mold or think you might, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. So they'll come in. They have a patented non-toxic dry fog. So think about what I just said. Patented, no one else is using this. Non-toxic, safe for your pets, your plants, your family. And it's a dry fog. So when they come in fog, you don't have to remove furniture. You don't have to pull up carpet. You're not worried about getting your sheetrock wet. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog. It is a more effective, more efficient, more cost-effective treatment. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.